out of whack here. I was ready to go Tuesday morning, but fire away.
You get back in the routine this week. Feel good to be back at home. Get back in the flow of things.
Yeah, we took Monday off. Let them recover. It was a pretty tough 2 weeks, and they've done a great job last 2 days of working on. We got some things we're working on, and so been really productive.
You mentioned, I think, post the game that they didn't play with urgency to start matches too. Is that something? How do you coach that or get them to do that?
That's out of my league. I'm not out there. They got to figure that out. So they know what they have to do. It's just a matter of doing it.
Overall, how do you feel about your serving, other than the errors? How often are you stressing teams with your serve this season?
Depends on the night, but that's going to continue to get better. I'm already seeing things this week that lead me to be really confident that our serving is continuing to get better.
What are you seeing?
In practice. So I don't want to jinx this, but we went a lot of drills without missing a serve. Put it that way.
Back to the slow starts that you talked about and it being on the players, is there any kind of common theme that you're sensing or any kind of message you've preached to them?
Part of it is the teams we're playing are coming out playing really well and hard. So when you're on the road, sometimes it takes a while to adjust. You know, we had 3 out of the 4 matches had all-time record crowds. So it's just a little different environment and getting used to it. They're playing great. So, but you know, we found a way to come back and beat Michigan and Michigan State in game 1. So even though a lot of that's our opponents are doing a really good job.
On the flip side, what does that say about your resolve, being able to win those first sets, and if not the first, then quickly get back in it?
It's huge. We're building that muscle that we can. Doesn't matter if we're down, we can still come back, and you know, you can't really replicate that in practice. It's things that have to happen in games, and it's great to see some of our players when we need it. They can really step up and make plays, and that's what great teams do.
Penn State's a very different team than what you've seen in the past with all the transfers they have. I mean, how are you impressed with how quickly they've kind of meshed as a unit as the season's gone on?
Well, they've got all conference players all over the place. So, you know, they're going to be a really great test for us. And they got some great players. I mean, just look at they got the best player from this school, best player from that school. So it'll be a really great test for us.
Going back to the urgency, I mean, how much do you feel like having the Devaney Center crowd behind the players will help with some of those slow starts? Do you think that'll remedy a little bit of it?
After being on the road for 4 matches, and it may not seem like a lot, you know, just thinking football was on the road 4 straight matches, you know, 4 straight games. It'll be. I think our players are going to be really fired up to play at home, and I think our fans will be fired up. I think they've missed us. I mean, it's 3 weeks without a volleyball match. You know, if you think about it, and so I think it's going to be a really fun weekend.
Lindsay's serve was a weapon this weekend. What goes in decision there, deciding who gets to serve in that spot?
She was really thumping it all week, so I just thought Blaney was struggling in there a little bit, so I said, let's go. And both her, Allie, and Hayden are all prepared to come in and serve. And the difference is Laney's such a great defensive player, you know, we give that up a little bit, but Lindsay made some really nice digs and had some huge runs for us. So we got confidence in all those guys to serve.
What do you think of the way that she got going this weekend after maybe a slow start in that first one? Lindsay, I mean.
For what, serving?
Well, no, just in general. Player of the week, put up really good numbers efficiency-wise.
Yeah, she did 400 last week too. So we need her to do that every week. So we've been talking about somebody's got to kill balls in that spot. It makes us a really tough team to defend when they're doing that. But Lindsay's a warrior. She's battling. She competes really hard, and so she's doing a really good job.
Questions? A little off topic, but next Saturday you guys will be playing Huskers football. We'll also be playing at the same time. Lincoln should be a jammed house. Given what happened to Lindsay a few weeks ago, any thoughts or reports you give to fans driving in the area?
Well, I've noticed, I don't know what's changed, but I've just noticed O Street when I've been on, it's been a little more mellower. So I'm hoping our little thing we did with the police and the awareness with Lindsay's situation, that maybe some people slowed down. And but we got to continue to be safe and not distracted and all those things. We'll keep pumping those messages. But so anyway, yeah, and I talk to our players about it every football weekend. It's Lincoln's crowded and there's lots going on. And, be safe. And that's but yeah. So we're trying our part.
What was your reaction to seeing how Harper handled that home crowd? Everyone there to see her, how she kind of dealt with all the extra things outside of volleyball last weekend.
You could tell she was a little nervous to start with, but then she worked in and played great. So that was a big deal for her, and it's that was a moment that nobody's ever gone through, and I'm sure it was very emotional for her sister and her and her mom. So, but it also was a special moment, and there were some great pictures of them sharing that. So, all right, Lindsay, you're up.